can we mill our opponent's entire deck with a single Sphinx's Tutelage trigger with the help of the Water Crystal, of course? That's what we're going to find out today. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Against the Odds. And we got a sweet one this week. We are heading to Pioneer to play some Water Crystal Sphinx's Tutelage combo. Basically, Painter Grindstone, but legal in Pioneer. So let's talk about our Water Crystal combo deck, what it's trying to do, jump into some games, see the deck in action. So we are built around one of my favorite Final Fantasy cards, which is the Water Crystal, a 4-mana legendary artifact that does a bunch of things. Our blue spells cost 1 less to cast. If an opponent would mill 1 or more cards, they mill that many +4 instead, and then we can pay 6 and tap it, and each opponent mills cards equal to the number of cards in our hand, which is actually that, +4 cards because of its static ability. That last mode doesn't really matter. We're not ever planning on activating it for 6 mana. What we're trying to do with the Water Crystal is abuse its middle ability, the ability where if we mill 1 or more cards, we make our opponent mill that many +4 instead, because this combos with one of my all-time favorite cards, which is Sphinx's Tutelage. So Sphinx's Tutelage, you might remember this one. When it first came out forever ago, we played this card quite a bit because it's just such a fun card to play. 3-mana enchantment. Whenever we draw a card, target opponent mills 2 cards, and if those cards share a color, you repeat the process, and then you pay 6 to loot, which also we're not planning on doing. So the trick here is the way that these 2 cards work together. Let's say we get both of them on the battlefield and we draw a card. Our Sphinx's Tutelage will trigger, but rather than just milling 2 cards, it's going to mill 6 cards. And as long as any 2 cards of those 6 cards share a color, it's going to happen again. And what this means in practice is, let's say we run into a monocolor deck that's playing all cards the same color, which is not that uncommon in Pioneer, actually. We are like 97% to hit again and hit again and hit again. So in theory, we should just mill our opponent's entire deck. So that's the goal of the deck. Play a Tutelage, play a Water Crystal, draw a card, which we can do on our draw step, or we can speed up a little bit with some card draw effects and just mill our opponent's entire deck on the spot. So we have a bunch of card draw effects, and these cards kind of do double duty. So consider Op Treasure Cruise. These are ways that we can draw cards, mostly for 1 mana, and they're really good with the combo. If we get the combo online and we don't want to wait till our next turn to draw a card to start the chain of milling, we can just cast an Op to draw a card, cast and Consider to draw a card, Treasure Cruise to draw 3 cards, start the infinite-ish mill loop. We could fizzle, but mostly hopefully infinite mill loop, and mill our opponent's deck, stock up Thundertrap Trainer, just dig through our deck to find our combo pieces, or to find our card draw, whatever we're missing. We also have a bunch of removal to stay alive, Fatal Push, Go for the Throat to deal with creatures, Thoughtseize to pick apart our opponent's hand, protect our combo from counter spells. Mana base, pretty straightforward, bunch of Dimir dual lands, and a Tuara, and Urborg is a super duel. In the sideboard, we have Leyline of the Void, which is kind of hilarious in the deck, because you think that it would fizzle our combo, but actually it doesn't. All the combo cares about is the cards being milled, not where they go. So even if there's a replacement effect that puts those cards into exile, we're still going to trigger again and again and again with our Sphinx's Tutelage. And it's really important to the deck, because if we're going to be milling our opponent, especially if we don't have the full combo and we have like Sphinx's Tutelage down and we start milling a little bit incidentally, we don't want to mill our opponent into their Arclight Phoenixes or reanimation targets or whatever. We also have Spell Pierce Duress to help in the control matchups, a bunch of removal, Extinction Event as a sweeper for aggro, and that is the Water Crystal combo for Pioneer. And that's our deck for today. So let's jump into some games and see just how realistic it is to mill our opponent's entire deck with a Water Crystal and a Sphinx's Tutelage. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap-up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. Want to help out the channel? Well, you can snag these super sweet new dice, playmats, tokens, and more over at mtggoldfishmerch.com. Against the Odds time, we are pioneering this week with some Sphinx's Tutelage Water Crystal combo, and we got a Water Crystal. This ain't fine. I mean, really, the entire deck is like removal, interaction, and card draw to, oh god, aggro. Okay. Interesting. I think we take the Extraction Specialist, because if we don't, it just gets back whatever else we take anyway. Opponent Recruitment Officer. Plus, we have a Fatal Push that can deal with something. Tap land, go. So I think this turn is kill something. The next turn, we can stock up a bit. Yeah, I think we just kill the Recruitment Officer. The Shelter by Ghost could be an issue at some point. Opponent. Well, play the land, and let's stock up. Well, okay. There's a tutelage, and we need the land. I mean, we literally have the full combo. We have to maneuver around the Sheltered by Ghosts. Okay. Runs out the Sheltered by Ghosts to pump their Thalia's Lieutenant. So maybe we don't have to move around the Sheltered by Ghosts. Let's island and get on the Water Crystal. And especially considering our opponent's monocolored, this should mean we just win next turn. Unless our opponent, maybe they ran it out because they have another one. That would make some amount of sense. Even then, I don't know if it's worth it. Found it. Firing up the Mutavault. Gonna... Oh, wait. More. Oh, all right. Sheltered by Ghosts. Okay, so now we need to find a way to get rid of this Thalia's Lieutenant. So we need like a fatal push. Opponent hits us down to 11. We draw a Swamp. Ooh, 3 cards in the graveyard. Well, let's opt. Keep the Consider. I mean, I think we're trying to set up a treasure cruise here to draw some cards, to find some answers. Don't really need another. We only need 1 tutelage to win. Thoughtseize is not the card we want right now. I'll play the land. Do a little cruising. See if we can cruise into some removal, please. We really need to kill this Thalia's Lieutenant, and then we should win. All right, bunch more card draw. Pass the turn. We still have at least 1 more turn. Found it. Mutavault. Down to 6. Well, let's opt. See if we can find a removal spell. Another Water Crystal. Well, yeah, it's too slow. We don't have enough mana to do everything before we die. Well, let's consider. Can we find a fatal push? We need it now to pay the ward, though. Ugh, another Water Crystal. Oh, it hurts to mill them. I guess yeah, we can cruise. I mean, I guess technically we don't die this turn unless they have a human or anything, basically. If we draw a fatal push, we can kill the Mutavault. Oh, 3. My goodness. Discard the land. I mean, we're dead to anything. Oh, another Mutavault. Oh, tap the wrong Mutavault. Hits us to 3. Well, we get 1 more draw. It's another land. All right. Well, that was awkward. That is not exactly how we drew it up. Let's bring in a little bit more removal. Bring in the sweepers. Probably the Thundertrap Trainer is not... That's kind of our flex slot. And then some Thoughtseizes. Run it like that. I actually feel like this should be a pretty good matchup for our deck. Because they're monocolored, right? And they don't have a ton of interaction. They are fast, though. But being monocolored means the combo should kill them. Well, land go. This hand's pretty good. Couple removal spells, a sweeper included. Veteran Survivor. We might actually have to kill that because that can exile stuff from the graveyard. Yeah, let's mill the opt. We mostly want lands. All right, there's a land. Lands and combo pieces. Well, land, and if it's tapped at the second main phase. All right, we can just pass. We are probably going to kill this, though, because we want cards in the graveyard for the treasure cruise. Well, okay. Rest in peace. Well, we're still going to kill it. So, bad news is, our graveyard is now offline. Good news is, our combo still works to rest in peace. It only cares about cards being milled. It doesn't care if they go to exile instead of the graveyard. So, the combo's still good. Treasure cruise, much less so. Opponent land, and... Hopeful Initiate. So far, we have 0 combo pieces, so another rest. Okay, so the rest in pieces are going to live forever. Let's mill the land. Draw. Okay. I mean, hitting both extinction events against mono-white humans is not a bad thing. Play the land, pass the turn. I mean, I guess eventually we get to 8 mana and cast a treasure cruise. Opponent recruit. Well, that's got to die. We don't want our opponent to start drawing cards. We might just spend our first extinction event and wipe out both of those. That seems worth it. And then we can hold on to the fatal push. Ooh, and then if we draw land, we can Thundertrap Trainer with baby. Well, extinction event on odds. Out of here, 1 drops. I mean, opponent's only got 2 cards in hand. I feel like we're doing okay. I guess if we just kill everything, we can win at our leisure. Opponent, Coppergo Vanguard. Does not ward itself. We probably are just gonna kill it. Yeah, let's get rid of it. See if we can draw a land for this Thundertrap Trainer. That'd be good. Well, stock up is also pretty good. That'll find us a land and... Actually, do we want 2 lands? Or yeah, let's take the Fatal Push. I think Fatal Push makes sense against this deck. The just kill everything plan has been working so far this game. Found it. Wedding announcement. Okay, that's pretty good against killing everything. Although, we're getting close. Like, hopefully this Thundertrap Trainer finds us some combo pieces. Huh. Yeah, let's just Thundertap Trainer with Kicker. Make a couple babies. Or make a baby. Well, there's all of our combo pieces. Take a Tutelage. Come on, Water Crystal. Okay, there's the Water Crystal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So we need a land, and we should be able to win next turn. We can play the Water Crystal. Shelter by Ghost, that's fine. We do not care about you gaining life. We are not winning with damage. So opponent, I'm gonna exile the token. Yeah, get rid of the token. We'll just trade off if they attack. We don't really care. We don't really care about Thunder Trap. We actually sideboarded out most of them. Okay, land. Land for the win. Tutelage. I mean, we're still good. We just gotta wait till our draw step to win. If we had one more mana, we could cast the Consider to start the loop right now. Well, get down the Water Crystal. So all our mill is +4. Get down the Sphinx's Tutelage. So whenever we draw a card, we mill for 2, which will be 6. Opponent, Copper Go Vanguard. So as long as we hit 2 white cards in a mill 6, we do it again, and we do it again. And against this deck, I would be surprised if we don't mill the entire thing. Opponent gets in, they draw a card. They pass the turn, we draw for our turn, and here comes the fun Sphinx's Tutelage. Mills for 6, okay. Double white cards, good. Again, okay. Bunch of white cards, good. And again, okay. Bunch of white cards, good. And again, and Water Crystal. I mean, it's basically Legacy Grindstone combo, but in Pioneer. And opponent, library empty. And yeah, we'll pass the turn. Would you like to draw a card, opponent? They needed an Obstinate Familiar. Well, that went pretty well. That is exactly what this deck wants to do. Like, literally word for word, exactly, precisely. 1 land, 1 keep. We're going to draw blue mana. The Magic Gods are a fan of the Water Crystal. I have it on good authority that the Magic Gods are fans. And we're going to draw an island and look like a genius for keeping this hand. Opponent, Hopeful Initiate. Okay, Watery Grave. That counts. Well, we're going to lead on Swamp Thoughtseize, though. Opponent has 1 land, Thalia Coppercoat, Sheltered by Ghost. Well, we got to get rid of this Thalia because that's very annoying. The rest of the stuff, opponent also kept a 1-lander. A believer in the 1 land, 1 keep technique. Another Hopeful Initiate gets in. All right, we're drawing all the blue sources, so life is pretty good. Pass the turn. Opponent, very good at drawing Hopeful Initiates. Do we want a treasure? We got to stock up. We don't really need the cruise here. Mill the cruise, draw an opt. Opponent hits us to 15. Well, let's play an island. I think we just pass. If they play something scary, we can exile it. Opponent gets in for 3. That's fine. Let's do a little opting. Well, okay. Combo piece part 1. That's a Water Crystal. We're not under too much. I mean, they only got 1 land, so we're not under too much pressure. Let's opt again. Milled Underground River. And there's the Tutelage. Okay. Combo assembled. Well, we're going to go for it. Untap land. Water Crystal. And this should mean we win the game next turn unless our opponent top decks a land. If they top deck a land, they can shelter, and then we got to kill it. Our opponent hits us to 7. They did not top deck. Well, Sphinx's Tutelage. And opt for lethal. Thoughtseize to the bottom. Okay, as long as we don't get super unlucky here. Million for 6 because we drew a card. Okay, bunch of white cards. Good, very good. Bunch of white cards. Yes, yes, keep it going. Okay, Water Crystal might actually be kind of sweet. And opponent, 1 land, library in the graveyard, and we'll ship it back to you, friend. All right, not bad. Tutelage, better than ever. So, man, I love the Water Crystal. Definitely one of my favorite cards from Final Fantasy. We basically had to play Grindstone combo in Pioneer now. And that card's going to be messed up in Commander. I mean, you got to care about milling and play like Mesmeric Orb or something, but this end's fine. I mean, a million cantrips and card draw and a Tutelage, sure. Well, let's see what our opponent's up to. Temple Garden tapped. Well, Pathway on blue. Hello, friend, go. Opponent Forest. And Glimpse of the Core. Well, we will consider and mill a stock up. All right, go for the throat. That's not bad. I'm not sure what our opponent's doing, though. All right, no land. I mean, we got a bunch of 1-mana cantrips, so we should find a land. Blast Zone for our opponent. And Bloomvine Region. All right, let's opt. We need to hit... all right, we're going to be a little greedy. We're going to keep the Thoughtseize. And then this Consider is going to find us a land, right? Okay, we're not going to keep the second Thoughtseize. Land. Oh, might be getting a little punished by our greed. Maybe just a little punished. Okay, there's a Watery Grave. Yeah, we're going to play Untapped and Thoughtseize, so we're going to leave out the Go for the Throw. As much as I'd like to stock up or two... Oh no. Oh no. Doubling season 2 Ugins, eerie interference. What have I done? We're never beating this. Oh, why did I show people that Ugins were good in Pioneer? Opponent land goes. The Ugins start next turn. I mean, the problem here is we have the combo, but we can't actually play the combo because if we play the combo, it's just going to get exiled by Ugin. So I think we need to get to enough mana that we can do everything all in one turn, which seems like it's going to be tough. So that's what, 7 mana? 4, 2, 1? Well, let's Treasure Cruise, draw some cards. It also means that our hand is hilariously bad. All these Go for the Throats and Fatal Pushes, not looking too hot. Opponent land. Ugin, Eye of the Storms. We know there's an Ugin the Spirit Dragon in hand. Opponent gonna take it up and draw a card. We draw even more Treasure Cruises. See, this is where we'd love to play... We'd love to just play a combo piece, but we can't with the Ugin. Play a Swamp, Thundertrap Trainer. Gotta get our pressure going. Can we pressure the Ugin? Let's take the Opt and discard a removal spell that does nothing. Opponent land. Yeah, I think we're gonna be like a turn short. Opponent, Ugin Eye of the Storms. We need 2 turns. Or Ugin the Spirit Dragon. Triggers Ugin Eye of the Storms. Exiles our random 1/2. Bolts our face down to 10. Takes up the Ugin. Draws cards. Gain life. Yeah, we're 1 short. Like, we could play both combo pieces, but we can't trigger them, and they can ultimate that Ugin. And then the colorless stuff exiles our combo pieces. So I guess we're just gonna do a little cruising. See if we can... I don't even know. Maybe they don't have a great Ugin ultimate. Like, our Ugin deck, we were just putting more Ugins into play. The ultimate was fine, but it wasn't like immediately ending the game. Like, if we somehow were still alive after this Ugin ultimate, we do just win next turn. But they do get to ultimate an Ugin, which I imagine is going to be bad news for us. We will see. Opponent, Ugin. Do you have ways to actually kill us is the question. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, that's a bunch of Ulamogs. Okay, yeah. Shimmel, just in case we had counters, which we don't anyway. Opponent is living the Ugin Tribal dream. I mean, Ugin Tribal's kind of messed up, I will say. Yeah, I mean, this does it. The Ulamogs get rid of land, so we don't have the mana to do the combo. 1 more mana. We needed 1 more mana, and we could have comboed off through the Ugins. I mean, we don't have a ton for the, like, Spell Pierces and Duresses, I guess. Go down, like, the Fatal Pushes. I guess the Extinction Event is better than the Go for the Throat. Run it like that. I'm telling you, Ugins are, like, kind of busted. They're actually really good. I came away from that against odds feeling like this deck is not against odds at all. This deck's actually kind of busted. This hand is fine. We got no combo pieces, but we get to start with a Thoughtseize, which is nice. Opponent, Calamity's Wake, Deafening Silence, Cultivate. Well, I mean, good that we know about that Boseiju. That is another answer. An unthought-seizable answer to a combo piece. I don't think we really care about Deafening Silence. Definitely don't really care about Calamities. Like, Calamities Wake is slightly annoying, but I think we take the Cultivate. Try to keep them from getting their Ugin down in the near future. Opponent tap land. We find, okay, Tutelage. Well, let's run out the Thundertrap Trainer. We do need to hit a land, desperately. Okay, well, there's a Water Crystal. So we have the entire combo in hand. Again, opponent, Deafening Silence. Gonna have to play it 1. Ugh, all right, not a land. We keep a 1-lander that works out, and then we keep the 2-lander and get punished. I guess we'll take Calamity's Wake. A second Deafening Silence literally does nothing. Opponent land passes. Another Tutelage that we can't cast. Well, go Thundertrap Trainer. We're now Thundertrap Trainer aggro. 18 more turns. How are we drawing every 3-drop in our deck? Unfortunate running. Opponent, take them. Are they going to Blast Zone away a Thundertrap Trainer? Are they actually afraid of the 17-turn clock now? Opponent, tap land passes. Oh my God, it's a land. Well, we're going to play Tutelage, number 1. Since we have a backup Tutelage, we're actually pretty cool with our opponent Besieguing this Tutelage and giving us a land if they want to do such things. They could also take up the Blast Zone, I guess, and try to do it that way. Well, that was not the fastest start that I've ever experienced. Opponent, Blast Zone takes it up to 3 for the tutelage. Plays a land. Oh. Well, that is actually GG. We cannot beat a Ley Line of Sanctity. We can't target with the tutelage, so the combo doesn't work, and we don't have an answer to Sanctity, so seeing if we can mill our opponent's entire deck with Sphinx's Tutelage. Man, Sphinx's Tutelage is a classic. That is like, if you've been following MTG Goldfish for like a decade now, you remember back when Sphinx's Tutelage came out, we played so many tutelage decks. I still love tutelage. Any card that's just like, play me and draw cards and I'll win you the game, that is my kind of magic card. Well, Dark Slashers go. Opponent leads on a Swamp and a Mutavault. Looks like mono black. Well, one thing I'll say about this deck, anytime you see your opponent on mono colors, you're kind of happy because there is a risk if you're under some like 5-color pile that you can actually assemble the combo and it doesn't work because you won't double hit with the milling enough. But against a mono-colored deck, it works pretty much every time. Opponent. Castle Logwain, and a little Graveyard Trespassing. So opponent just seems like mono black mid-range, I guess. Mono black aggro. Gonna eat our Opt, which eating our Graveyard's kind of annoying just because we want cards in there for our Treasure Cruise. We are gonna kill this Graveyard Trespasser. Go for the throat, pitch a Fatal Push. Well, Thundertrap Trainer's fine. Thundertrap Trainer is definitely a flex slot. Well, Stock Up is good. It does dig for our good cards, which I like. I think we're going to play the land untapped so we can do a little opting or perhaps fatal pushing if they fire Mutavault. Opponent. Let's see if our opponent realizes how scary Water Crystal is. So everyone knows Stock Up's busted. All right. Opponent knows Stock Up's busted. Takes the Stock Up. No fear of the Water Crystal. Graveyard Trespasser. Well, the other good news about Mono Black is even in 2025, they can't really kill artifacts. Enchantments, we don't talk about that. Back in my day, the color pie used to mean something, opponent. But they thankfully still can't kill a Water Crystal. You know what they can kill is a Thundertrap Trainer. Trainer down, and even more Trespassers. All right, if we find tutelage, we win. We just need to find a Sphinx's tutelage. That is this game. We got to find the tutelage before we die to these Graveyard Trespassers. Opponent hitting us down to 14. They are down to 1 card in hand, but they hit us for like 8 a turn. All right, well, let's do a little digging. See if we can find a tutelage. Well, Stock Up. Okay, we'll keep Stock Up. Stock Up is good at digging for a tutelage. Ooh, all right, consider how many cards we got in our graveyard? 2? Thoughtseize. And then we're going to play the Twara. Let's not Thoughtseize. Let's not Thoughtseize. The Treasure Cruise just sucks because they're going to eat all the cards in our graveyard, so we can never cast it. So Thoughtseize is just the best of not great options. Opponent. Gonna get in with the Trespassers. Keep being away the graveyard. We drop to 8. We have 2 cantrips, so we're tutelage away. Opponent hits us down to 8. We got 1 more turn, maybe 2 more turns. 1 or 2 more turns. Well, let's consider. Tutelage. Underground River. That's not a tutelage. Okay, that is a tutelage. And I think it's party time. Let's see if this works against Mono Black as good as it works against Mono White. So Thundertrap Trainer. This will also flip the Trespassers back, which is nice. Take a Fatal Push, I guess. Well, Sphinx's tutelage. We got the opt in hand, so do a little opt-in. Doesn't really matter what's on top. We just need a card. Yes, I guess we keep a tutelage. Not that it should matter. Well, Milia for 6 instead of 2. We get 2 black cards. Yes. Okay, let's do it again. 2 black cards. Yes. Well, only 2 black cards. That was close. They almost fizzled that one. Okay, plenty of black cards. Sure. 3 black cards. All the black cards. And did we do it? An opponent playing real Magic, attacking with creatures, killing our stuff, but in the end, the Water Crystal does not care. This deck might actually not be that bad. It might actually not be that. Oh man, the combo's sweet. So far, we have not hit a fizzle. It will happen eventually. Like sooner or later, our opponent will have like the 6 land pile or something, and we'll fizzle. But I guess we can bring in a little bit more removal. The Annoying with Affliction seemed good. Go down the Thunder Traps. And the Fatal Push was kind of hit or miss that game. The Extinction Event seemed good. Yeah, let's try it like that. against J. That sounds fine. I mean, not a thrilling, exciting hand or anything, but ugh, okay. Losing the opt or the go for the throat makes this hand, yeah, they take the opt. Now this hand's kind of sketch. At least we have a go for the throat. Duress number 2. They take the treasure cruise. Don't even care about the go for the throat. All right. At least we have a go for the throat, he said. All right. There goes the go for the throat. Yes, opponent draw the discard and a Blade of the Oni. Well, now we have an opt, though, so how do you like us now, opponent? We get to cantrip. Play the island. Ship the turn. Opponent gets and hits us. That's our Urborg. That actually is like sort of relevant for our deck. A little relevant. Well, let's opt into an opt. I need the Yargle opts into essentially an opt to consider. Well, let's consider. Can we find like a treasure cruise? That'd be sweet. Fatal push. Well, I'd much rather have a treasure cruise, but I don't think we can pass on killing this Blade of the Oni. Opponent untaps. And I mean, the only good news is our opponent's hand was just all discard, so they don't really have much of a clock. Like, we're not doing much of anything, but our opponent is also not doing their job. Ooh, I actually don't know if we keep the water crystal here. I think we go graveyard. I know, there we go. Okay, that's what we wanted to see. We want to see something like stock up. We want to stock up into a treasure cruise. We need some velocity. We've got hit by too many discard spells this game. We need to get some velocity going. Well, we didn't find a treasure cruise, but we will take the 2 non-land cards, Duress and Opt. Yeah, do a little thought seizing. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Get rid of an Invoke Despair. Well, they have enchantment answers. That's good to know. We've left our opponent with not much going on. Castle Lockwain's a good one for our opponent. All right, can we find a treasure cruise? Please. Please. Well, we definitely don't want a pathway. Extinction event. Fatal, but man, we're drawing all the removals. I mean, the removal's not bad. I don't like that they get to start Castle Lockwaining, though. Opponent, Castle Lockwain. I'm gonna draw a card. Castle Lockwain's especially good because they can draw on our end step. 1, 2, 3. Actually, this is pretty good. All right. How about a Thundertrap Trainer with a baby? They draw on the end step to avoid our Thought Seize. All right. Can you find us either combo pieces or treasure cruises? We'll also accept stock ups. Bonnet, gonna go for the throat, the trainer. Yep, that's fine. Oh, God, another Thought Seize. Okay, something better than that. Something better than that, baby Thundertrap Trainer. So I think with a choice like this, when we don't have either combo piece, I think it's correct to take the Tutelage, which I think does more without the other combo piece than the Water Crystal. Shieldred. That's a lot of Thought Seizes that aren't doing much. Dark Slick Shores, that's awkward. In untapped land, we could have Extinction Event the Shieldred and Tutelage. Play the tap land for sure. I think we're going to let Shieldred live for now, as much as that hurts. Because we do have this Thundertrap Trainer, which can chump block, and if they attack into it, then we can just kill Shieldred with the Fatal Push. The way this goes wrong is if our opponent finds a discard spell. I don't really want to take 2 to the Thought Seize, but we also want to make sure that they don't have a discard spell, which they could be holding. All right, Shieldred's Edict, sure. All right, so the way this goes wrong is if they draw a discard spell here, then it's bad because they can Thought Seize the Fatal Push, and then the Shieldred lives. Found it. Castle Lockwain. And we know... all right. Well, that's kind of the one thing we were hoping they wouldn't draw. It's got to be Fatal Push, right? Your Shieldred's going to die either way, but if you take the Fatal Push, it doesn't... We got to spend 4 mana to kill it next turn. Pound it. Castle Lockwain. Back up to 16 with the shield. Oh, no. And a Unholy Annex. These Castle Lockwains are winning our opponent this game. We had the discard in hand and everything. It just doesn't do much against these Castle Lockwains. Still would not mind. Oh, and they get the Mutavault too, so we get drained. Still would not mind the Treasure Cruise. Land. Where are all of our Treasure Cruises this game? All right. Well, Milia. Haha, double hit. Milia, how do you like us now, Shieldred? Well, let's Extinction Event away the Shieldred. We're still in a really bad spot, though, because Mutavault's hitting for 4 thanks to Unholy Annex. Well, okay. Even a worse spot. That's even more Shieldreds. And there's the Ritual Chamber. Found it. Oh, yeah, they have the demon now. Sure. Opponent's all the way back up to 24. There's a stock up. Well, stock up. Our best hit's Extinction Event. And I think if we stock up into Extinction Event, we still lose. I'll take the Extinction Event. Huh. Yeah, we're actually just dead. The problem is, we Extinction Event, we still just died to Mutavault, Unholy Annex, so it doesn't actually do anything. Eh. Maybe one Fatal Push around like that. I really don't want to lose to the Shieldred deck. Come on! Alright, this hand's kind of funny. This deck isn't really built to be like a fair tutelage deck, because we only have the 4 Sphinx's tutelage. There's no backup Mills cards. But 3 Sphinx's tutelages, maybe that's enough even without the Water Crystal. If we just draw some like cantrips and in Treasure Cruises, maybe we can just get them fairly. Or maybe they have 3 Thought Seizes and we have all of our Sphinx's tutelages in the graveyard and we cry. That's also a possibility. Well, drawing a Thought Seize is actually pretty good. We can defend our tutelages from our opponent's Thought Seizes. Ugh. Well, we're taking one of the 2 Unholy Annexes. The removal spells, honestly not sure why they're still in our opponent's deck. Like, maybe they just don't have enough good sideboard cards, but we don't really believe in creatures other than Sphinxes, but only if they're tutelaging. I don't think that's a word. Opponent, swamp. There's Unholy Annex. We knew about that one. Opponent starts drawing cards. Well, let's do some milling. Can we get a double hit? Can we get a double hit? No. Well, let's play another tutelage. Play the Dark Side. I mean, if we ever draw the Water Crystal, we're set up for party time. Mutavault's a good one. Oh, Mutavault and Shieldred. Okay, this is actually looking kind of scary. Down to 16. Oh. All right. Well, you know what? Or maybe we just draw Water Crystal and... unless our opponent can somehow kill both tutelages, or kill us, which I don't think they can do even with the Shieldred Unholy Annex, we just combo them. That was a perfect top deck. That was literally, I told you the Magic Gods are a fan of the tutelage. If we had one more mana, we would have won right away with the Consider. All right, Blade of the Oni, Thought Seize the Consider. Gonna get in with the Shieldred. Hit us down to 12. I don't think it matters though. I mean, unless we get unlucky, but as long as we don't get unlucky, it's combo time. With 2 tutelages, and a Consider, there's no way we can get that unlucky. Well, here goes. Shieldred drains us. Tutelage number 1, milled for 6. Show us a couple black cards. Okay, do it again. Yup, 2 black. This seems like super consistent. Against a monocolor deck, we have not double hit once with the combo. It always works. And opponent, well, this one's gonna fizzle just because our opponent ran out of cards. That is the one way our tutelages fizzle. And Shieldred's pretty good, but apparently the Water Crystal better 4-drop. Oh, you know this is the salty rope because our opponent played at a very consistent pace all game. Like, that was a pretty fast back and forth game. I mean, I guess it probably feels like we janked them out. And in all honesty, we kind of did jank them out. We'll pass the turn. Would you like to draw a card? Water Crystal with the salt keeps getting it done. Sweet. And this looks fine. We got a Water Crystal. No tutelage to go with it yet, but leads on a Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Well, play the island. Pass the turn. So more mono black action. Sign in Blood. Well, let's consider mill the island. I mean, at this point, we're basically looking for the tutelage for the fast combo kill. Yeah, let's Watery Grave untapped. Leave up the Go for the Throat. Well, okay. Cannot go for the Throat, Blade of the Oni, unfortunately. We can do a little opting, though. I don't even think we want to say. It sounds weird to pass up good card draw, but I don't actually think we need a second stock up at the moment. We will keep the Treasure Cruise, though. Well, I guess we're gonna have all the card draw. We will be drawing cards. That much is clear. Well, let's stock up. There's a tutelage. And yeah, let's take a land. We're gonna just discard the hand size anyway. We do want 2 lands in hand. I mean, in theory, next turn it's... Oh, there's a Thoughtseize. Okay. We could have just Water Crystal tutelage 1, but let's see if our opponent knows that they... I feel like Water Crystal is one of those cards that sets off some alarm bells. Like, if you see your opponent playing it, they're probably trying to combo with it, because I don't think you really play it fairly. So I imagine, even though it's a new card, I imagine our opponent's gonna be a little suspicious of what we're doing. If they actually read all of our cards, you can probably see the combo. All right, opponent takes a Water Crystal. Gets in with the Blade of the Oni. We draw a useless land. Play the Underground River. Do a little tooting. And do a little cruising. Treasure Cruise is such a good card. Draw 3 for 1. And trigger a Tutelage a bunch of times. Ugh. Those were actually not the exact cards we were hoping to draw into. 2 Thought Seizes and a Watery Grave. Can we get a double hit? Okay, 1 double hit. 2 double hits. All right. That was a decent amount of milling. I mean, I guess it's possible to win with Tutelage even without the Water Crystal. It's just way slower and harder. Found it. Gets in with the Oni. Even more lands. Well, mill you with the Tutelage. No double hit this time. Well, let's stock up. Okay, we have to take the Fatal Push. Yeah, let's just take the Cruise. I feel like between the Fatal Pushes and the Thought Seizes, we're going to be able to fill our graveyard pretty quick. So we can probably Cruise next turn. I think we just have to take Graveyard Trespasser and try to deal with the rest. Just because we're on the Treasure Cruise plan here. The Trespasser eating our graveyard is going to make Treasure Cruise a lot harder. All right, there's an Unholy Annex. But we can kill the demon, so we're not taking any damage this turn, which is good. Opponent gets to draw a card, down to 14. We draw a Fatal Push, which is actually kind of awkward. Ooh, double hit. Ooh, double hit. Ooh, double hit. Okay. Oh, wow, that was a mill 8 off of 1 fair trigger. Bunch of slashers. And opponent, wow, scoops it up, wants no piece of the Thought Seizing, and we didn't even get to see the full combo because our opponent scooped it up, but we'll take it. So let's bring in some different removal. Fatal Push, when you can't trigger Revolt, is actually so clunky in some matchups. Like, we can't cut them all because we still want to kill our opponent's early game creatures, but I feel like it's worth trimming a little bit because it's actually kind of hard for this deck to trigger Revolt. We don't even have creatures that are going to die in combat, so it's just, it's really, really unlikely to trigger Revolt in this deck. Not the fastest hand, but that should be okay. We get a little redundancy with our Tutelages, which is good against the discard deck. And there's the Thoughtseize. The Tutelage, well, they're just going to take a Tutelage. I was going to say the Tutelage would be tempting if we didn't have 2 of them, but maybe our opponent has 2 discard spells, and then it becomes very, very tempting. What are we doing? What are we doing, Tribal? Typal? His username didn't. Their username didn't get changed. Oh, that would have been so funny. Wizards updates. You wake up one morning and your arena username's been updated to Typal. Let's grab our Water Crystal. We actually just have the full combo in hand. Can we dodge the discard, which our opponent seems to have an endless, seriously, another one? I was going to say an endless supply of, and then our opponent backed that up by discard spell number 3 here on turn 3. Thoughtseize number 2, going to take the Tutelage. Well, that is awkward. Now let's stock up, see if we can find another Tutelage. No. We can get a Fatal Push and I guess an Opt. I'm almost tempted to play a Fabled Passage or 2 in this deck just to trigger Revolt on Fatal Push. Urborg and a Bob. That's cool to see Bob seeing Pioneer play, but that might actually be the format for Bob. I feel like Pioneer might be the home. I feel like in Standard we'll see after rotation and bannings and stuff. The format's just so aggro right now. It's hard for me to imagine you wanna play Bob in most Standard decks. Maybe after rotation. But Pioneer, you can play a pretty low curve deck. Mono Black's already a thing. Unholy Annex is kind of busted though. I guess you just play both. Speaking of Unholy Annex, opponent's going to draw cards one way or another. Well, let's play the land and we're going to get down the Water Crystal before it gets discarded. This means we need to find a Tutelage. If we find a Tutelage, we win the game. Opponent, Blade of the Oni. That is a demon, which is relevant when Unholy Annex. Yeah, I think we keep it. We're going to keep the go for the throw. It can't kill the Blade of the Oni because the second Water Crystal is not the best. Can't kill the Oni because it's an artifact, but it can kill like a Shieldred or something if our opponent draws one. Yeah, Water Grave going bottom. Tutelage. Yeah, I think because of the Unholy Annex, we're going to Extinction Event. Get rid of the Blade of the Oni. We also lose our Thundertrap Trainer, unfortunately. But we don't want our opponent just to drain us out of the game with this Unholy Annex. Ashiok. Ooh. Well, that's going to make our Treasure Cruises bad. Oh, there goes a Tutelage. If we lose all of our Tutelages, then we're really in trouble. I wonder if the 6-mana mode on Water Crystal's worth it. I don't think it could be our primary plan, but it is still a mill, what, like 9? I guess over the course of several... Liliana, that's a clock. If we got nothing else going on, we might as well activate Water Crystal. Like, little by little, it will mill our opponent out. And we're going to wait till end step. Found it. Ashiok's us. Actually, are they going to mill us out first? I don't think Ashiok is enough to mill us all the way out. Well, let's... Water Crystal, yeah. Mill ya bunch. Opponent gets to draw with an Unholy Annex. We find a Thoughtseize, which I guess we cast. Well, take the Graveyard Trespasser. Yeah, pass the turn. And there's the Ritual Chamber. I mean, we got to kill the demon. Yeah, we're going to be pretty empty-handed here. Go for the Throat the Demon. Liliana ticks up. We'll discard the Swamp. I don't know. Now our Water Crystal's mill 4, I guess. Well, they didn't hit the Tutelage. We could still just draw the Tutelage. We're still at the point in the game where if we just top deck a Tutelage, we can combo. Oh, man, the most expensive Treasure Cruise of all. Oh, no. All right. The whole full-price Treasure Cruise. I guess 1 mana discount from Water Crystal, but pass the turn. The other issue is this Liliana's about to ultimate. Well, we'll discard this Thoughtseize. Keep the Extinction Event in case there's like a Shieldred or something. Graveyard Trespasser. Yeah, the problem with the Water Crystal plan is it's just hard to leave up 6 mana. Like, yes, if we just had 6 free mana each turn, eventually we would mill them out with just the Water Crystal, but it is. Pioneer's just too fast to leave up 6 mana to activate the Water Crystal too often. Opponent draws with an Unholy Annex down to 8. Another land. The Ashiok's going to go away, but the Liliana ultimate is probably deadly. Well, let's Extinction Event. Get rid of the Graveyard Trespasser. Might as well play the land because, yeah, there's just no way out of the Lily ultimate. This hand seems fine, I guess. Thoughtseize, stock up to dig for combo pieces, a little bit of removal. Cruel Claw Heist, oh god. Jeez, okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Opponent's hand's got double Cruel Claw Heist and a Collective Brutality. Well, we're taking a Cruel Claw Heist. We really would not like our opponent to steal this, stock up and cast it. That seems very bad for us, I would say. Opponent land. All right. Well, another Thoughtseize. We can get rid of another Cruel Claw Heist. Leyline of the Void. Well, I'm glad that our opponent's drawing that now. We're still going to lose our stock up because they can hit it with the Collective Brutality. Maybe they play Gifted Aetherborn. That'd be sweet. They can hit it with the Brutality. Yep. Well, play the land. Pass the turn. 3 Fatal Pushes. And they top deck a 3-drop. Oh, no. This is like exactly what I was talking about with Fatal Push. And this is like the nightmare version of it. Our opponent draws a 3-drop after all of our Thoughtseizes. It flips around into a 4/4. We have 3 removal spells in hand. But the removal spells, Leyline of the Void, sure, whatever. But the removal spells, it can't kill this, and we can't really trigger Revolt. So we might just get face rolled by a Graveyard Trespasser of all things. Okay, Tutelage, get it down. Okay, we just need to get really lucky and double hit like 20 times in a row, which I don't think is even possible because of the lands in our opponent's deck, but oh no. I will say it's a little unfortunate. I feel like Mono Black's actually a good matchup for us. Little unfortunate that after the Thoughtseize discard war on the first couple turns, that our opponent drew exactly 2 3-drops into our handful of Fatal Pushes. Yeah. Play the Swamp. Are we dead? We're actually just literally dead, right? 4, 8, yeah. All right. We're playing some Pioneer this week for Against Odds, seeing if we can mill our opponent's entire deck. Basically, Grindstone combo, but Pioneer legal. Opponent leads on a Plains. This hand's pretty good. We actually have literally the entire combo in hand. We got the Tutelage, we have the Water Crystal, we got an Opt to trigger it. Oh boy, okay, this seems good for us. Opponent playing the mono-white token deck, which has become pretty popular in Pioneer. It is also mono-colored, which Sphinx's Tutelage is a fan of. Opponent gonna do a little carrot caking. Yeah, makes a bunny. Another Tutelage. All right, well, tap land, go. I also don't think they should have a ton of interaction for what we're doing, at least in the main. Enduring Innocence for our opponent, gonna get their card drawn to mill themselves out a little faster. Let's play the land, and I mean, we got 2 Tutelages. Even if they somehow have an answer, we might as well get one down. And Clay-Fired Bricks. Opponent snags themselves a Plains. And Legion's Landing, eh? Yep. Draws a card. Gets and hits us down to 14. It would have been nice to draw a land there, but stocking up into a land is also fine. Actually, stocking up into 2 lands is what we want. Yeah, if we take double lands here, we should just win next turn. So play the land past the turn. We can Fatal Push something to keep it from flipping the Legion's Landing. Although, honestly, I don't know how much any of this really matters. It matters if we get unlucky and the combo fizzles, but kill the token, just in case. I don't think people know about this combo yet. I don't think people expect to just die when they see a Sphinx's Tutelage. Opponent hits us down to 10. Gonna crack the carrot cake to draw a card and make a rabbit. Sure. Can your card answer a Tutelage, opponent? It is a Skrell of Scythe, all right? The coast seems pretty clear. Well, Milia. More importantly, play the land, get on the Water Crystal, and let's cast an Opt to draw a card, start the chain. All right, draw a card, trigger the Tutelage, Milia for 6. I imagine against this deck, yeah, 2 white cards, 2 white cards. I imagine against this deck, it should be the entire library. I mean, so far we are 100% to win when we have it set up. We don't always get it set up, but we have not actually had Water Crystal Sphinx's Tutelage draw a card fizzle yet, which I think it actually should, like some percent of the time. But so far it has not done it once. Well, let's bring in stuff that can deal with enchantments, stuff that can exile Enduring Courage. And then we'll mostly go down targeted removal like Fatal Pushes and go for the throats. Not really worth it against a token deck. You don't want to spend 2 mana to kill a token that a wedding announcement made or something. It's a losing proposition if you're spending a full card to kill a random token. But we might have to cut. Yeah. Cruise makes sense. They might bring in Rest in Peace. And yeah, I mean, we need to hit a land or 2, but this is fine. Yeah, play a Water Grave. We got lots of card draw. We got the Tutelage. No Water Crystal yet, but we should be able to find it eventually. Let's see what hate cards our opponent has. That's the real question. Do they have ways to stop us? All right, Clay-Fired Bricks. That is not going to stop us. Let's opt. Find a land, which is good. Opponent gets to find a land with their Clay-Fired Bricks. Well, land and go. Do we just run out Tutelage next turn? I wonder how many answers they actually have even after sideboarding. Caretaker's Talent for our opponent. Oh, what an awkward time for a Thoughtseize. It would be nice to Thoughtseize into a hand check, but it's also hard to spend our entire turn where we have 3 mana casting just a 1 mana spell. If we stock up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, again, just go to hand size. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just Tutelage. Run out the Tutelage. If it gets blown up, hopefully we find another one. And then next turn we can like stack up plus Thoughtseize. United Battlefront. All right, opponent's going to do some Collected Companying. Spin it to win it into Caretaker's Talent and Skrell of Scythe. Well, Amelia, no double hit. Let's play the Swamp. Now we're going to fire off this Thoughtseize. Who we're up against. Carrot Cake, Anointer Priest. Well, I guess we'll take the Carrot Cake. We don't really care about the Priest. We have the Extinction Event in hand. Take a land. Take the Thoughtseize. Opponent. Draws. Might have been better to to take the water crystal. I don't know what I was thinking. I had some sort of brain fart there. I don't know why I took that thought seize over the water crystal. Oops, yeah, you can pump me in the chat for that one. I will accept the punt in the comments. I don't know, my brain just is shorted out for a second. Let's duress you. Found it. All right, enduring innocence in hand. I mean, we're fine. We're gonna find another one. But yeah, we should have probably just taken it and tried to win the game since we already have the tutelage. Well, let's do some cruising. See if we can cruise our way into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cruise our way into that water crystal that we did not take. I mean, maybe we just get the fair win. Against a monocolor deck, if we draw enough cards... Oh, there's a double hit. I mean, you just randomly get a few There's a double hit. I mean, that wasn't bad. That was like Cast a Treasure Cruise Mill 12 or something. That's a chunk. And we have the tutelage in hand. As weird as it sounds, the way this game's playing out, we might actually not even need it. And our opponent's drawing a million cards a turn from Caretaker's Talent, which might actually be bad for them here. Like, they want to draw cards, obviously, but with us trying to mill them out, I don't know if they really want to. Another Skrelv Scythe. And a Legion's Landing. Thankfully, we have this Extinction event. We do need to be aware of the Caretaker's Talents. It would be nice if we didn't have to Extinction event this turn, but I think we actually have to Extinction event this turn because... Ooh, double hit. Oh, almost a double hit. The problem is if we don't Wrath this turn, I think if they level up Caretaker's Talent, 3, 6, 9, they have 20 cards in their deck. If we play Tutelage, we can draw, 4, 8, 12. We need 4 double hits. All right, let's just cast a Consider. And if we get ridiculously lucky and double hit a million times, maybe we go for the win here. Otherwise, I think we just Extinction event. Okay, double hit? All right, not a double hit. In that case, we will Extinction event. Get rid of the board. Yeah, I think we should be able to just win next turn. Because our opponent's got to draw 3 here. They got to draw 3 on their next upkeep. They have 16 cards, 15 cards. Even without the... We would have won earlier with the water crystal, obviously. But even without the water crystal, I think that we're just good. Is it determinate? I guess it's not fully deterministic yet. Opponent levels up. That's why we had to Wrath, is because if they just level up the Caretaker's Talents, they could have one-shot us. It would have been interesting to see if we could have won there. Too risky, though. Now, Legion Landing. Oh, there's a water crystal. Well, better late than never. Why win now when you can win 3 turns from now? That is my life motto. Actually, opponent's got 10 cards. Tutelage, draw is 8. Yeah, I think we're still better off just going water crystal. Water crystal, draw a card. As long as it double hits once out of 6. There's a treasure cruise finally. I mean, this should do it, right? Show me 2 white cards. 1, 2. Okay, that was like 6 white cards. And opponent, empty library, and dies to Caretaker's Talent of all things. All right, well, still working. It's still working. This deck's actually kind of sweet. It's actually kind of sweet. So what do we learn this week about the Water Crystal Sphinx's Tutelage combo in Pioneer? And overall record-wise, we went 3-3 with the deck, including losing to an Ugin tribal deck. Kind of regretting showing people how good Ugin is in Pioneer, because now we're losing to the deck. But really, I feel like the deck performed pretty well. I will say, I think we got slightly lucky that we played against a lot of monocolor decks, and that's what we really want to see, because we talked about during the intro, and you saw throughout the video, we really want to be double hitting with Sphinx's Tutelage with the Water Crystal out, which is pretty easy when we're milling 6 with each Tutelage trigger. But if we run into like some sort of 3-color deck, and our opponent's got a whole bunch of different cards of other colors, it is going to make it less likely that the mill chain happens. So I think we got a little lucky to play against so many monocolor decks, although I also think Pioneer is like the perfect format for this, because the mana base in Pioneer isn't very good. There's no fetch lands that you can get your shock lands and triomes and stuff, which means a lot of Pioneer decks kind of cap out at 2 colors. You see way more monocolor decks. So I feel like it lines up really well with the Pioneer format because of the mana bases. Also worth pointing out, every single time we assembled a combo, which I think every win we got was because of the combo, or our opponent scooping to the combo. But every time we got Tutelage, Water Crystal, and drew a card, we won the game on the spot. We never fizzled, which is something that will happen eventually. I mentioned before that the math is about 97% against a mono-color deck that you're going to hit 2 cards of the same color in the 6 that you mill with the Sphinx's Tutelage, which means the odds of hitting enough to actually mill the entire deck pretty likely. Although, it's also true that there's like a 3% chance that we whiff, and we never ran into that. And it does get worse if you play against multicolor decks. So I think the deck, it's really interesting. We've seen similar decks like Painter Grindstone combo back in Legacy be really successful tier decks. I do think that Water Crystal Sphinx's Tutelage, it's a little bit jankier than Grindstone Painter Servant, obviously, but it's kind of the Pioneer version of that. And after playing this deck, I came away from it feeling like this might actually be a real thing. Like, I don't know if this is the exact perfect build. I don't know if you need more creatures. Our Fatal Pushes felt kind of weak because we didn't have ways to trigger Revolt. So there might be some touch up around the edges, but overall the plan of just like finding the combo pieces, playing the combo pieces, drawing a card actually seemed relatively competitive. So if you like milling people out, you like janky combos, you like drawing lots of cards, this might be a pretty sweet Pioneer option. Also worth mentioning, relatively cheap to put together. Yeah, the mana base is kind of expensive, but yeah, $274, not super bad for a Pioneer deck. But anyway, that's Water Crystal combo. That's our Against the Odds for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.